mentally feel like Kobe, I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me, I don't care if you push a 40. You can never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili, from young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats. Circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? We ready. Been ready. I waited. My turn. On God. Hell steady. I keep dropping back to back. I keep going if you let me. I've been sitting at the top, looking down at those who left me. Promise I'm not being petty. I'm the one they envy. Brody moving state to state, make $1 million out to send me. Plus I grinded from the start. I was stacking pennies. I might dip like Machiavelli. After the confetti. Who ready? We ready.
Who ready? We ready. Welcome in, Cowboys Nation, to mock draft 1 point only. Shouts out to my brother from another Voss Lombardi for the 1 point only. That is a fantastic name for when you only do one mock draft. And look, I brought some company, man. Two of the best doing it right now, covering the NFL draft. You got Foots the King, of course, above me, and below me you got Zach from Double Move. If you're not familiar with his game, you're about to be. Good evening, gentlemen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, Sky, listen, and we got Zach. Shout out to Zach. Chat, can we get some love from my guy? Seriously.
No, shout out to Sky. Shout out to Sky. I got to see the whole back end of the production. Insane.
Appreciate it, bro. Oh, real quick, you could probably guess who wasn't late for today's show. I'm just saying. But y'all know who was late for tonight's show. But it's all good, man. It's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. Shouts out to everybody in the chat joining us. Please share this to all your friends, family, and foe. Let them know to come through for this good time we're about to have tonight in this mock draft 1 point only. Gentlemen, it's finally here. You guys have been talking about it on your show. I've talked about the Zach behind the scenes here and through our messages. We ready. Who ready?
I think that, so first of all, like Zach said, flowers to Skywalker still. I think he's the best quarterback in the game. He best producer in the game, and it's not even close. And I think that so many people have messed up by they'll see later, man. This guy's a young GOAT, and he told me, because I was giving him all my names, and he said, Foots, this year, I'm gonna be honest. I'm letting you do the legwork, and I'm gonna let Zach do the legwork. And like, I love the approach that that Sky's taking this year. He just want to enjoy the draft, man. And I think our fan base, and I don't want to get on a soapbox at Sky, because I know you got plans, but this year, guys, let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy this prospect. Let's enjoy who we draft. Let's enjoy it. We went down every loophole, every position group. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah, they say, let Jesus take the wheel. I let Foots and Zach take the wheel this draft season. Hey, shoot me y'all top, yada, yada. Who I got to go watch? What I got to go do? And y'all have been helping me out, man. Zach, you've been in the lab, since, October. I think you and Foots have been doing this. And, we talk about who ready. I know for damn sure you ready.
Yeah, to get to this point, there's been so many prospects, so many breakdowns. Me and Foots, how many mock drafts have we done, Foots, to this point?
I say 17, but now this will be 18.
Too many to count, but we're finally here. We went to the Senior Bowl, feels like 2 weeks ago, but down in January. We drove all the way down to Mobile and watched those prospects. So hopefully the draft gets here quick. Next 48 hours, I feel like we're going to figure out a lot of stuff.
Oh, it's here, fellas. It's here. And we actually got a little snippet to, inside the draft brain, per se, of the Dallas Cowboys brass and Cowboys Nation. I don't know if y'all saw the presser earlier, but I wanted to touch on it a little bit today. I don't want to go too crazy, right? Because this is what they do every year. They hold this presser, but there is sometimes you can get something to take away from it outside of the smoke screens. And I think they definitely did throw a lot of that at Cowboys Nation today. But chat, Bomb Squad, Cowboys Nation, Zach Foots, I wanted to get y'all, what stood out most about that presser today, if anything really stood out, or your just overall thoughts. Start with you, Foots.
To me, Sky, now I'm in my draft mode, and I gotta be locked in, So here we go. To me, Sky, I told you guys behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't take anything from it. Once Jerry started talking about Jay-Z, and I'm like, okay, I see what's going on. They're gonna use this to throw a bunch of chum in the water. If they're in all seriousness, though, Scott, there is one thing that I took. I think they are serious about trading out, right?
Yeah.
But we knew that. Like the way that they team built this offseason, which you did a great job of talking about them shopping at the dollar store to try to hit on a few of these guys, but you covered yourself. You can get decent stuff at the dollar store. You've covered yourself. So them trading out, that's if they've been listening to the right people, Skywalker, Steele, Zach, that's not news. Some of the stuff about the O-line talk, I don't take nothing from that. I mean, that's what we've been knew, that this team loves O-linemen. There's not a person in the world who doesn't think that they love O-linemen. Do I think they're drafting one? Absolutely not. I don't. And I haven't changed on that. And just because Jerry gets up there and talks for 10 minutes about O-linemen, and then right when he is done, he'll rebuttal that. So to me, I tweeted it out. Sky didn't take anything from it.
What about you, Zach?
I took that Jerry is still Jerry, and the salesman that he is and always will be. That's what he is at the end of the day. It's where he made his money, doing stuff like that. He gets up there every year, throws stuff out. What about a trade? Like, we're not done before or after the draft. Like, come on. If and people still buy it. But that's why you get on here, listen to us. ESPN might be talking about it tomorrow. The Dallas might make a trade. Who are they looking at? All that stuff. At the end of the day, I took that Jerry is still Jerry, a very good salesman, and he always will be.
I say this to the Bomb Squad all the time. I hardly ever listen to Jerry. I can care less about what he has to say. And it was a point in time in my career where I was like, I'll listen to Steve, and that's kind of waned a little bit, but he's kind of the guy you do want to listen to. And I said this to you guys in the chat when you did say that, Foots, like, don't believe anything you hear there. I said, well, I think there is one thing that you definitely should believe in what they're saying here. And I actually wrote it down because I want to make sure I get the quote right. And it's what Stephen Jones said. And look, y'all know me. I can't stand that man. I can't stand the Joneses. but sometimes you do have to take something away from what he says, not necessarily what Jerry says. What he says, because I do think that, the rain is starting to pass over a little bit. But he said this here, quote, "Got to stay true to where these grades are and what these players are. In this league, players rotate through, and if you got young guys coming in, it allows you to put resources elsewhere." And that last, 3 words there is paraphrasing. But this was in question to, I think it was Nick who asked him about, hey, when you're sitting this high in the draft, do you weigh need versus, want, the board, the stack, and all that stuff? And he talked about how the grades are the grades, man. You don't want to play around with that up here. And it sounds to me like they're going to stick to their board. And if their board says it's wide receiver, if it's running back, if it's O-line, if it's line, whatever it is, I think they're going to take that player wherever that may lay. And that's what they've done in the top half. If you go look at their history over the last decade, even if you go to CD was number 17, but he was the top guy on their board, right? Mm-hmm. Second round, Trayvon Diggs, top guy on their board. Michael Parsons, same thing. Even Tyler Smith at 23 was the top guy on their board, and they stayed put, and they went with their consensus board, and they get in trouble when they try to reach. And that's what he talked about. He said, look, if we got a guy that's in the second round grade, we're not going to take that player just because it may be a need per se. We're going to take the first round player. So I think everything is on the table according to their board. And if tags are touching, then that's where that quote from the whole, we'll put our resources elsewhere if we feel as though we have enough resources or what have you there. And that's where the whole O-line conversation comes into play. But we'll get to that in a second. But that was my biggest takeaway. I think they're going to stick to their board here at 12 unless they get a trade back option.
Yeah, we were talking about this offline. I think James Slater's report, I think, is the one that I would probably hold true to. Saying if Ted is gone, and I don't know if you want to go this far yet, Sky, but let's say Ted could possibly be gone. And some of those names, that lines up to who I've kind of been talking about. Like, I think James Pierce is very much in play. I think Matthew Golden is in play. I think, but that's all of Steven they're going to set the board, which another thing I don't believe that they haven't already set their board. Their board set. They know who they're ranked. That was,
come on.
Yeah. Come on. Like, stop it. Like, but that was just like, come on. That's when I started saying, all right, I'm turning this off. I see what's going on here. So yeah, to me, Sky, like, I think what you just said makes the most sense. They're gonna talk about every position. Brian Schottenheimer's been talking about every position, but I think they're comfortable drafting any position. I really believe that.
They asked a question, Zach, to Stephen Jones, and I had to get a chuckle out of this, me and Matt. Do you think you've done enough in free agency to where you can select BPA? And he was just so proud of everything. And look, man, I'm not here to poo-poo on these guys, but I love the question some other reporter had, and he was kind of scared to say it with his chest. I would have said it with my chest. But this is basically what he was saying, y'all. He said, so in a year like this, when you're going into the draft and you have, various needs, is it easier to select BPA? And Jerry was like, what you trying to say, man? Are you trying to say we got a lot of needs? Yes, Jerry. You're going to pick BPA because you got so many damn needs. It's impossible to not pick the best player available at your position of need, if that makes sense, squad.
Hey, I've been saying that throughout our mock drafts. Like, we get into our mock, and I'm like, you could take BPA because just about every spot, maybe you can make a case for edge.
Thank you.
Maybe you can make a case for edge, but even then, it makes sense. Offensive line, running back, quarterback is about the only one where you could just say,
right,
we're out, not drafting a quarterback. And I mean, just to tell you how many needs they have, when people post their 10 picks that they had in a 7-round mock, people are like, oh, well, where's the linebacker help? Or where's the corner help? Like, you had 10 picks and you still don't feel like you're hitting every single position that this team needs.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I'm with you. Like, that's the stuff where it does. I defend those guys, and I appreciate Sky being out front saying they get on his nerves. I try to stay in the middle, but that's the stuff where I'm like, Steven, stop.
We've gotten to many fights, Foots.
Yeah,
many fights.
And but you know what? I'm on your side with it, Sky. Like, Steven, stop. Just stop it. You've done okay in free agency. You've done a few things, but to act like we're completely covered, we're not. And that's a lot of the times what's happened with me and Sky is like, we're like, yo, and he made a great point and it hurt us last year. We're relying too much on the draft. Like, think about it. And this is what I tweeted. It's like, dog, Sky, we better just find an impact player, which is why I want to go best player available, which is why I'm like, I'm kind of talking out of both sides of my neck, because I think this team, if they draft correctly, is set up to have an impact player on the defensive side of the ball and contributors on the offensive side of the ball, or an impact player on the offensive side of the ball and contributors on the defensive side of the ball. So hopefully that's how they're looking at it. The only thing about trading out, guys, and we'll talk about this when we get to our actual mock when we do it, I don't want to trade away from some dudes that, like, we watched it. And this is the thing, I can pat myself on the back. I got eyes on these guys. Zach, you got eyes on these guys at the Senior Bowl. And some of these players that people are talking about, I'm good. I'm good.
But Foots, I think the conversation is so polarizing for the trade conversation because of the many needs that we've just discussed, right? And if you can collect more capital, you have more opportunity to try to fulfill those needs. But it goes back to a bigger picture where, well, you shouldn't be relying on no rookies to take you over the hump anyway. But this is how they this is the bloodline, which it is for most teams anyway. But this is truly like the only source of blood for this organization is the draft. So if they can get more, I think they have to entertain it, but it has to be of value, and it depends how far back. And once we get to the mock draft, we'll get trade offers. We'll discuss it in the first round. We're not going to do every single trade offer, just maybe the first, maybe the second round. But I think it's an interesting conversation because of all those needs you have, and you don't have enough picks in the top 100. Because, you know, you gave up a 4th round pick for the second year in a row. You know what I'm saying? So I think they have to entertain it, but there is something to, wait a second now. How far back y'all trying to go in a draft where there's maybe 12 or 13 first round guys or top guys? Now we're back in the mid 20s and we're into that, dare I say, Tyler Guyton situation.
I was just gonna bring that up. So, no, you're right. You're right.
It's a fascinating conversation.
Yeah, you got his act.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things though that like I'm not worried about. I would love to trade back. I think if you get wiped, we looked at a scenario in one of our mocks, like if all the guys you like, Golden's gone, McMillan's gone, you lose obviously Genty, say Hampton goes, which it doesn't seem like they're too in on a running back at 12, but it's like all those guys go, who is another team coming up for is my question. So like you might have to get wiped and then stand there and pick a guy where your 13th player, your 12th player, and your 18th player are so close in grades that once again, you're probably going to fill a need because this draft is, you have like what, 4 or 5 blue chip prospects. And then once you start getting into that,
close.
This is not a great year to be drafting at 12 is what I'm trying to say. Well, and this is a tricky one.
Let me push back a little bit because I think I pushed Foots on this, but not pushed like you were on the other side. But I said this, and I said this in the chat. I don't think it's possible to be wiped at 12 because of the many needs you have. You know what I mean? Like you even if you're taking a Will Johnson or Barron or if Josh Simmons, the guy, like there's going to be a guy that can come in day one and be an upgrade to what you have and possibly a cornerstone, depending on who that guy is that is there. So, that's not saying that this draft has 10 blue chippers or 12 blue chippers. It's the fact that little cluster, I would call it that big cluster that you have, those guys are going to be better. They're going to walk in better, most likely, than anything you have behind your top guys, like wide receiver 1, cornerback 1, offensive tackle 1 or 2. They're going to be better. So I think it's going to be impossible to be wiped from an impact player, but you may get wiped from a blue chipper. That's likely going to happen.
And I think finding a solid upgrade at 12, no matter who's there, kind of goes back to how they built this roster.
Yes.
What they chose to do in free agency, like that's terrifying. Like we really were like up on Tyler Guyton last year because we're like, please be good. Because they needed it so bad. They needed a left tackle so bad. And this draft does scare me, but I agree with you. I think there's going to be a guy there that we do really, really like. And personally, I hope it's Ted McMillan. But
I want to say this though. Sky was one of the first people with a big voice in the community to have a conversation, a high level conversation about Will Johnson. And
I'd be happy with him.
And I think what everybody on this live needs to take from this conversation tonight is be open to their, and they may be right, because guys, if you get wiped at Tet and Zach would have a heart attack, I wouldn't be happy as well. And you have Will Johnson as a higher rated player than Matthew Golden, then you draft him, because you don't want to be sitting there saying, well, we needed a receiver and Will Johnson goes on to be Patrick Surtain, and you rated him a certain way. You could say that also with, let's say they look at left tackles in need, but you get wiped to Mimbu and Simmons. Let's say people haven't talked about this, but I think Simmons is a landing spot for San Francisco. Like everybody's skill and this, that, and the third. Man, San Francisco's drafting a lineman.
Yeah, they don't have a great pedigree up there in offensive line. Trent Williams is on his way out.
They're drafting an offensive lineman. So let's say you go Mimbu. Let's say Mimbu goes to the Pats or even goes to the Raiders. I've heard that. Okay, so now Mimbu, Simmons are gone, and you're like, oh, I just got to get a guard or a tackle. I go Booker. Well, that wouldn't be smart, especially if you have a guy like Pierce that you have rated higher, who, like we just said, James Slater has come out and talked about.
And Steven said I don't like to quote these guys in this manner as like this is exactly what they're doing, but I believe it. I believe that they are not going to jump their board. Like like you said, if it's Will over Golden, I'm taking them. If it's whomever over, who'd you say?
James Pierce. I've been one of the people in the community that have, and me and Zach, how long have I been telling you? James Pierce, because everything checks out, but the off the field, but what he did at the combine. Go ahead.
But
Scott.
will he be the 13th best player, the 12th?
Can I say this, Sky? James Pierce this time last year was a higher rated player than Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter had the year, but if you go look at preseason draft boards, James Pierce was the guy. Anybody who follows college football, now the sack numbers went down, but the pressures were good. The film against the run was really good. And again, it doesn't. I'm surprised that Jane put her name on it with those three names with Golden, Walter Nolan, and James Pierce.
I was just about to ask Zach about that. Your thoughts on the Walter Nolan James Pierce thing, because she just said their name that they like. Do they like them enough at 12 though?
Walter Nolan at 12 feels really rich.
Yes, and at 12 feels rich.
Very rich. That's a name. If you do trade back, you get back in the 20 range. I'd be much happier with a Walter Nolan selection. But James Pierce, like Foots has talked about, like super productive. He went in those like way too early mock drafts back in during the 2024 draft after.
Yeah,
he was number one. Like he was going to be the number one pick. But some stuff came out about, personality. And I think that's kind of where the Cowboys are drafting too with like Will Johnson is there's questions about the health. He didn't, wasn't healthy this year. He didn't run a 40. And then you have James Pierce, some off the field stuff. I think you can get a guy like James Pierce who is going to be a great player. I believe that. I think I have him I'll have to go back and look, like number 9, number 10 on my board, but I don't know the off the field stuff. I don't know.
And fellas, that is something that they are serious about. At least I think they've been burnt enough, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't talk about it enough. I would love to I always say this every year. I'd love to have a conversation with Will McClay. But Boss Man Fat, right? Like I don't know how they didn't see the red flags. Maybe it was a COVID year. They didn't get enough information, but there was the red flags were there. The similar red flags, James Pierce, that do you love the game enough to where you're going to do whatever it takes to better yourself as a person, which is going to help you better yourself as a player and among other things. Right. And they kind of ignored that. And they took Sam Williams the very next year. And Sam Williams was the same red flags popping up and they ignored them. And if you listen to the presser today, Will McClay, he just kept, hey, Will, how's the weather today? Man, it's beautiful out there, but I'm telling you right now, if you don't love the game of football, I just don't know if I can stand the rain. I mean, I need you to love the game of football. He kept bringing it back to the love of the game. So maybe it's me being burnt. I'm out on guys like that. I don't want nothing to do with them at 12. If you got football character issues, I don't want nothing to do with you, especially at 12. But we've been burnt in the second round. Please don't burn me at 12. Please don't do that.
Well, you know what, too, Scott? Then you probably out on Josh Simmons because there's a lot of reports that he doesn't love football.
Doesn't love the game.
Yeah. And so, and rightfully so. But
damn, he's talented.
He is really good. You know the thing about Simmons, he looks the part. I know. I love Mimbu. I actually have Mimbu over him.
I like Mimbu.
Yeah, I think Mimbu has better feet and he doesn't have the injury concerns and he played harder on a worse team. Like with Mimbu, Mizzou just wasn't good. I mean, they were out of a lot of games, and he just kept playing tough, decent in the run. But I just like his mirroring ability. But there's people who are Josh Simmons guys. That's cool. The one who I'm just like, when that started to pick up steam, I said they're not doing that. It's Tyler Booker. I think they would go great. Grace Abel to me is more realistic. But at 12, are you going guard? Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not.
I have thoughts on Booker. So I've been advocate for Clayton Adams. Huge fan of Clayton Adams and Connor Riley. And I think the style that they're going to bring is as much of a mauler as Booker is. He seems to fit more with Philbin and Solari may have one. Definitely Solari. Solari's big on that. Now, he has the size. He has the measurables that we are seeing, but the actual athleticism, the lateral agility, because they're going to move. Y'all seen the statistics, Zach. I don't know if you saw it. There was a gentleman who put out it was Jonathan Owen. Shout out to John J.O. That's my guy. He put out a statistic that showed how diverse the Arizona Cardinals run scheme was compared to the Cowboys. We're going to run so many different things, and a lot of it's going to be pulls and counters and traps and things where we're getting these offensive linemen on the move. That's not necessarily Booker's game, but he's a goddamn mauler, right? And so now you have is it Booker to Kelvin Banks? Simmons is a tackle. He's going to be a tackle. I think Membo could be a guard too. I think he'd be a fantastic guard. So when it comes to that, I like those guys above Booker from that standpoint. But if we were like pure manpower, then Booker's the guy.
Yeah. If we're talking about getting guys out in space, Membo, Josh Simmons, those are the two guys that I think of when you think of athlete at the position. I think Kelvin Banks has got a little bit of mauler to his game with also the lateral agility a little bit more so than like Booker. I'm a big Kelvin Banks fan. Like, I think you put him in at right guard. I know he could play. He would play tackle for a team. I forgot. I think PFN has him as a top 12 player, whatever. But he would be an awesome guard. I really do, because he does have the power. Membo doesn't play with that, and it did scare me. He doesn't have that mauler mentality, but he does move well in space. He can get pushed back by power. But I would be ecstatic if they're going to take an offensive lineman. I have Membo over Simmons for tackle. I have Membo, Simmons, Campbell.
So Membo's my top tackle in this class.
They could do what you were saying there, Zach, with Banks. They could kind of do something similar to what they did with Lyle Collins. You know, when Lyle got in here, it was just so much value. It was like, hell, I mean, we'll figure this out. And you know, Lyle started inside and moved out to right tackle. I think Doug Free was still here, you know, when that happened. So you know, he started inside, Free moved on, he moved out to right tackle, and he stayed there at right tackle. Banks could do the same thing, or he could stay inside. But you have that option if you do select them. And I know that's been the discourse, and I'm kind of just over it, because what it's turned into for me, like this conversation, is kind of turned into tribalism, right? It's turned into like trolling, and I think it's masquerading as a legitimate discussion, and I don't think it is for the most part. Now I think like we just had a legitimate offensive line discussion in the first round. That's not being had out here in these streets. It's turning into either you take the O lineman or you take the wide receiver, or we're going to suck. Yeah. And it's like, what are we doing? You know, it's so much deeper than one pick, in my opinion. Yes. And, you know, we often hear about, you know, rightfully so. You bring up the competition, you bring up how other teams have moved, but they always talk about the end game and never talk about the process. For either side, whether it be weapons or whether it be offensive linemen. And I've just been so over the discourse, because the real ire that we should be having is with these gentlemen right here for not fulfilling the team enough in free agency to the point where we can feel comfortable having a discussion about one or two positions, not seven.
And real quick, Scott, since we are just adding some names to the discussion, I have Donovan Jackson, if he's playing true guard, over a lot of guys. Like, I would take him, if you talk about just that versatility, has good power, has good footwork, I take him over Tyler Booker. This is why I like you, Sky. You do real homework. If you go watch Tyler Booker move, he ain't playing in this scheme. Pulling, opening up his hips, he struggles laterally. He's more of a Baltimore,
He's a
gap
slurry guy.
scheme. Yeah, he's more of that. Just come forward. When you want to do GT counter and pin pull and all of these, that's not him. And he struggled. And he struggles versus quicker D tackles. It was some reps Omar Norman Lott got him. Like all of those things, if you're drafting a guard, even in a trade back deal, I don't want to have a question. You didn't have a question about Zach Martin. And the thing that I like about Donovan Jackson was everybody talks about Josh Simmons. Well, guess who replaced him and didn't miss a beat? It was Donovan Jackson. He was playing guard. Then he came in, kicked the tackle, and it was just like they didn't miss a beat. And, gap schemes, pin pulls, and I got written down here just in my notes, like, bro, when you talk about a guy who works well in tandem with, like, if there's a stunt, he can step down and he doesn't get beat. He's very smooth. He climbs to the next level. Like all of those, the things. We're talking about the things. We're talking about if you trade back and you say, okay, everybody wants to go lineman, that's the lineman. Or if at 44, if he's around, that's the guy to me.
Another thing to keep in mind, Dallas, they pretty much draft a similar type of player at a specific round or what have you. When's the last time they took a pure power type guard in the first round, specifically that high? You might say, oh, Tyler Smith. No. They took Tyler Smith because he was versatile enough to play tackle. Mm-hmm. Tyler Smith was going to play tackle. He turned into an all-pro guard. There's more value now because, hey, he can do both. Who's the other one? Oh, Zach Martin. Zach Martin was a tackle. He was a tackle that moved into guard because he was an amazing tackle, and he had that type of ability and versatility. Booker is a pure power type guard that I don't know that they would value at 12. It would have to be later in the draft.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, so I think some of that goes back to the some of those takes and some of that just because they bring him in. And people got to understand with these 30 visits, I think in the early part of draft season, Sky is very exciting. You see some of the names you like on there. You're like, oh, man.
Oh, they're going to take a couple dudes for 30 visits. They do it all the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
But, like, some of these is just the process. I mean, think about you talk about the press conference. When they started talking about quarterback, you're like, okay, this is what I mean. Like, Jerry went into this whole, I've had three. I remember Tex Schramm told me had 3 great quarterbacks, and you can't rule that out either. Okay, Jerry, you're not taking a quarterback at 12. So
how many times have we talked about the same guys all off season long, and they take a name out of left field that pops up in the last 72 hours? Happened with Tyler Smith, Tyler Guyton. Like it happens all the time. Like we're stuck on Tet McMillan, and then Josh Simmons pops up, 72 hours before the draft, and now we're all like, oh, well, that's a possibility.
Smoke season, baby.
Yeah. I love paying attention this time of the year because I feel like there's a lot of smoke in the air, but we start getting a vision of what they want to do.
Absolutely. Let me put a bow on this discussion here. I happen to go over to Guru. By the way, shouts out to all y'all. We got 288 up in here. Appreciate y'all.
We rolling, baby.
The Guru said, will our new O-line scheme be similar to the Lions' Hank Fraley? I don't know if you mean the O-line scheme, you mean the run scheme, because the run scheme was so diverse over there in Detroit. I do think there will be a little bit of that, a little bit of what you see with the Rams, what you saw with the Cardinals, even a little bit of some San Francisco stuff. But that's what Ben Johnson did anyway in Detroit. He was kind of a mix of all that. But I wanted to point that out because I do think, and you heard Jerry bring this up, they are really going to rely on Clayton Adams and Connor Riley.
The staff.
And I think they've earned that right. Now, Connor Riley hasn't been in the league, but if I've been doing this on my show, so my folks know about Clayton. If you don't know his resume, and I don't mean just maybe what you see on, Pro Football Reference, like literally go and dig deep into his resume in the NFL. He is the next offensive line guru guy. He is the next Bill Callahan. He is the next Mike Munchak. He is the next Jeff Stoutland, if you will, to the point where he's going to mess around and just end up being a head coach at some point. He ain't going to be here long, y'all. If he turns it around in Dallas, Clayton Adams is going to be a head coach in the next 2 to 3 years. That's just the way it's going to go.
Can I ask you a question, Sky?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
With this is why I love Sky Steele. Do you think with what he was able to do with the bodies he had in Arizona, and they never missed a beat run game wise, and they were so polished, do you think that's more of Dallas went to the dollar store and Clayton Adams can even clean those dollar store guys up?
I think they're being stubborn and arrogant about that. Wait, let me make this point here. Clayton Adams, fantastic, amazing. I ain't saying Clayton Adams is a goddamn magician now. But I ain't saying he's finna turn Robert Jones into a Pro Bowl or nothing like that. Like that's not necessarily what I'm getting at. I actually think, and I said this to somebody I think on Twitter maybe. I actually think Clayton Adams and Connor Riley for that matter. I'm more interested to see how they develop the core guys, the BBs, the Guytons, the Terrences. These guys are going to be around, right? At the very least for another 2 years. I honestly can care less about Sadiq Charles. Shouts out to Miss Sadiq in the chat. We love you. I can care less about Robert Jones or the Cincinnati guy that they got. Those guys are just, hey, we're going to see if you can fulfill offensive guard 4, offensive tackle 3, maybe practice squad. And if they are better than that, then maybe they're Byron Bell. Maybe they're Cam Irving. But I don't foresee these guys being around. I'm more so looking at it as what can they do for the core guys here? And that's what I'm more so excited about, Zach.
Don't you feel like it's an addition by subtraction with Mike Solari? You talked about being able to actually make guys better. When Mike Solari got here, do you remember what year? Was it 2022, 23?
23.
23. Look across the offensive line, go name by name, and tell me who got better.
Well,
Terrence Steele obviously had the issue, the knee, and he went down. I mean, he hasn't been the same.
Tyler
player.
was already a guy, but Tyler became an All-Pro. So I mean, a lot of people are going to point to Tyler, but come on, we knew Tyler Smith was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's Tyler Guyton played 8 to 10 games this year. Did he really improve that much over the year? Cooper
I don't
Beebe
think he was as bad as what people say, but he definitely didn't have that surge, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I just think at this point, Clayton Adams, Connor Riley, it'll be a lot of addition by subtraction while also on top of how good they are as coaches. Having some guys that are under the age of 70 will help a ton in 2025.
Hey, dog, they did have. So crazy thing about Philbin, he wasn't as old as I thought. He just looked like like a vampire. And then Solari, I mean, the dude was coaching with Tom Landry. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hear that sound, man. You just get chills. Let's get into this mock draft right quick. This is what we're going to do. We are doing, and this is 1 point only for a reason, okay? We're doing one. I'm not doing this 5 different mock drafts and we speeding through it no. We're doing one mock draft, 5-rounder, correct? That's what we're doing, gentlemen? 5-rounder, and we're going to entertain trades in the first round. We're not. I don't know if you want to do super speed or just normal speed so we can see them go and maybe.
But you want to go slow? Let's go slow.
Yeah, we can discuss who's on the board and things like that. If we want to trade up, trade down, things like that. So, and in the chat, obviously, you guys can participate. For those who've been around the Bomb Squad for years, we do this every year. Usually, we have Vach. I think a couple years ago, it was me, Vach, and Foots. We do the mock draft 1 point only. I only do one. They have done 100. So they are going to be very, very understanding of who may be where in these mock drafts. So it's going to be exciting to chop it up with you guys about it. Are we ready?
I'm locked in, baby.
We ready. All right, let's go, man.
So just for understanding, Zach, you want the first round and I'll do second? I'll do evens, or how you want to do it?
Well, we go.
Yeah,
whoa. We gonna talk
let's
it through.
War room it.
Okay. Oh,
we go war room. This the war room, baby.
Oh no, he didn't.
This the what? Hey, look.
This is what you're telling me. This is what you're telling me. I gotta roll my sleeves up.
Yeah. You got Will McClay. I mean, of course, Will McClay. I'm sorry, Foot. You gotta be Stephen Jones because you always capping for the goddamn Jones. I mean, you always capping for the Jones.
I'm Steven off Django. Am I Steven off Django?
Zach is the what's one name? Chris, was it Chris? I forget his name. He's the director of scouting or something like
Director
that.
of scouting.
Yeah, it's like Chris something. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Y'all don't see him much, but the man, he know what he doing. He got a big voice in that room. So
Certainly we will just want to draft accordingly to our board. Jerry, I've had to talk to him a few times today. How does my Stephen Jones accent? Is it good or?
If you're asking where Jerry's at, we locked his ass somewhere in the closet so we can.
So I left Jerry with Charlotte and Jerry Jr. and I'm just gonna and Chris Hall. Okay. Oh, Chris Hall's with us right now. All right, let's draft.
Let's do it, baby.
All right, here we go, guys. Entering the solo draft, and I think that's not a surprise to anybody. Not a surprise, but I think that would be Travis. But who knows? A lot of speculation.
Pause it right quick. Pause it. We'll go to 5. We'll go to 5 and pause it right.
Okay, boom. Ooh.
Man. Okay,
Ooh.
so already. Tet is gone, but I was going to say something about Travis. I'd be pissed if Travis went to New York.
Yeah, me too.
I just like him. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a fantastic generational type of talent, and I hate the Giants. I don't want to see them get that type of guy. That's all I wanted to say. F New York.
We'll be talking about this live when we make sure you guys tap in the channels, and we'll be going live. Sky, we're gonna plug this to my channel as well. We'll be on both. We'll be live.
We'll be live both. Yep.
So here's the deal, guys. I think that Cleveland has already written Travis Hunter's name in stone. Just because I think that was part of getting Miles to come back. Like, they want talent. They need somebody special. They want to bring like an A+ talent. I'm with you, Sky. I love his game. And I honestly don't want to see Malik and Travis because I think that would be a scary duo, even if it's in a package. The interesting thing is both of these teams are quarterback teams, and neither one of them are reported to draft a quarterback. But if you guys have been keeping up with me, Shador's not in my top 50, and that hasn't changed. So
that doesn't stop teams. I watched Jake Locker go in the top 10 and Christian Ponder. So I mean, yeah, that don't mean anything. And Shador is better than those guys.
That's true. That's true.
I think it's worst case scenario if no quarterback except Cam Ward. Like, I would love for Shador to go inside the top 10 because we've seen a lot of reports about Jacksonville taking Ashton Genty. I think that's a possibility too, but Tet goes off the board here.
Tet and who was it last year that went? Brian Thomas. Ooh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun to watch in Jacksonville.
Yeah. So Jacksonville, again, people have written in stone Ashton Genty. I just don't know if
the Raiders are written in stone for Genty. Let's keep going. Let's resume this draft here.
Let's resume it because this isn't talking Jacksonville or
no. I just wanted to talk shit about the Giants, and then Tet obviously went. Will Johnson. I mean, the Raiders can go anywhere.
That makes sense though. They don't have a corner. I've been trying to tell people.
Yeah.
Armand, ooh, see, and listen.
Here we go.
That's that pairing, Sky. Remember I was saying, like, bro, those two are going to be tax touching. I don't think Simmons, especially with the injury, I don't think he'd be up there.
Is pushing him down a little bit.
Shamar Stewart.
I keep seeing Stewart jumping in the top 15 randomly. Yeah.
Can I tell y'all what I heard about the Saints? I heard Walker is in play there.
I heard that with the Panthers as well.
Yeah, yep. And
but then
I can see them, bro. Pick a position. And this is where it starts to get crazy because let me ask y'all this: if Ashton Genty's sitting on the board,
no,
okay,
I'm not trading.
I want to talk to you, Scott. Scott, we in a war room,
going, bro. You're right.
We in a war room. We in a war room.
Go ahead.
We in a war room, Scott.
Right.
This isn't me and you texting.
Go ahead. You're right.
We gotta give these people a show.
My bad. Go ahead.
Chat, are we moving up? Can't ask chat. Y'all not in the war room. No. Zach, how you feeling? No.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Okay.
I couldn't do it. Not for a running back, dude. You look at this team is not a running back away. If they were built like the Eagles right now and they just had a down year and we're like a piece away, maybe we'll consider it. Just a running back. I don't know. I
Bro.
like so many guys in the
I'm
second,
about
third
to say,
round.
bro, hold on. We're at picks. So what? We're 2 picks in front of us. Look who on the board.
I
Chill
know.
out. Just chill
board-
out.
the
You're
board
gonna
is-
get a
the
dude,
board is-
fam.
Looking good.
Just
The
gonna get
board
a
is
dude.
okay. Here we go.
Genty's going right
Ooh.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he win. Ooh, like that.
Okay.
All right, so we're on the board.
All
Here
right.
we go.
Jalen Walker went to San Francisco, which is interesting. But here we are, man. Let's take a look at these options, Foots.
So I honestly have it graded a lot different than this. Shador obviously wouldn't be up here. Kelvin Banks, you could talk about that. You could talk about Matthew Golden. Tet went early, which is not a surprise to many people.
Do we have
Go
any,
ahead.
do we have any trade I mean, I don't really see. This
No,
has been
we
a
didn't. Yeah, we didn't have any trade offers,
Wow.
and it might be chalk like that, especially because think about it. Tyler Warren's still in striking distance.
Dude,
Now we could
Warren's
propose
very
a trade.
interesting.
I know,
We're the
dude.
Cowboys. We can't pick up the phone.
Yeah. But see, this is
phone's
weird because
blocked.
I feel like this mock simulator was always giving me a trade option. Let me see which one. Yeah, that's interesting.
No,
Okay.
it gave me one too. Do y'all want to propose a trade? Let's see if we can propose a trade. Let's talk to. Let's see if we
Well-
can get down to Seattle.
Well, Steven, your father said we ain't picking the phone up, but you know what? He locked in the closet, so yeah, we could talk.
He ain't here right now. Let's see what Seattle wants to do. Okay, confirm trade with Seattle.
By the way,
Is
chat.
that
By the way, chat. Trade option. How would you feel about exploring a trade option right now with the likes of Jade Barron on the board? Simmons is still there. Golden is still there. Tyler Warren still there. So there's some options there. There's some guys there. How you guys feel about trading back? Go ahead.
I would
Foots.
like to make my case for Tyler Warren.
That's
Ooh.
why I said Tyler.
no?
Bro, like
go
Tyler
Zach.
Warren
Go
on the
Zach.
stack
Make the
is-
case.
Hey, Brock,
the case.
Brock Bowers in Las Vegas, like #1 receiver last year. You're looking for, is Dallas looking for a wide receiver too, or are they just looking for a second
An
receiver?
option
option.
too. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what Tyler Warren would be. I comped him to Gronk. I know you don't like comps, but just a big body. He doesn't move. He's not very agile.
This
He's
is
not going to
good,
break a ton of
Zach.
tackles. But those corners, those 5'11", 6-foot corners, are not going to want to tackle him. Throw him one on a drag route and just let him go. Like I really like Tyler Warren. A lot of people like Colston Loveland as well. Better receiving option in my opinion with Loveland, but Tyler Warren can block.
Mhm.
He can block just on the frame alone. The dude's like what, 6'6", 255, huge.
And
So
I-
if there's no trade, which we talked about this being possible, is Tyler Warren, like, do you see enough value in tight end with that? Tyler Warren's my 7th rated player.
He's a top 10 player in this draft. I think it's definitely, this is why you have a war room, right? I think it's a discussion because I love what you said. Are you looking for a wide receiver 2 or a second option opposite of CD? And this is coming from a guy who loves Jake Ferguson, right? But I think Jake will bounce back. Number one, I absolutely think that. Here's why I don't think they'll entertain Tyler Warren, because I already heard them speaking about Jake Ferguson in a long-term future. Okay. But I think that Tyler Warren, I don't think Jake should stop you from at least having the conversation about Tyler Warren because, and jokingly, talking to Tuck on Twitter earlier, if you're looking for a wide receiver, I mean, he does the receiving things really well. If you're looking for a blocker, he can block, right? Hell, he can do some H-back things. He can get in the backfield and run the damn ball, a Wildcat. He's just a footballing dude. So I get the conversation right here. He's a weapon. I mean, I know tight ends, first round, I get that 100%. And I'm one who understands that, and I will preach that too. Like, it's not always, it's really more of a miss than it is a hit. But I do think he's so good and so well rounded. It's a conversation worth having.
I think Zach made a case, and I think the question is, are we doing what the Cowboys would do or what we would do?
No, I don't think they'll take him.
Okay.
So
Let's get in that world. So
Yeah.
let's go off of the reports that Jane had. I'm looking at Emeka Egbuka. I'm looking at James Pierce, but Sky made a great point as far as football playing Jesse's. I hate to be that guy, but this is the name. If it's you love football,
Yeah, this Golden makes so much sense if we're putting in the minds of the Cowboys.
this situation. Yeah, in this situation, the work they've done on him,
Mhm.
how he compliments CD. And I'm a tech guy. but Tess wiped. And just being honest, people will try to sell me blocking when it comes to Emeka Egbuka. I love Emeka's game. I think he's really good. I think that he's a great player, actually. But are we looking for great, or are we looking for it? I'm not looking for a receiver 2. I'm looking for a 1A. Like, people got to get out of this mindset of receiver 2. That's great. Cincinnati has 2 1s, and that's the difference. That's how they've been able to survive and have a number 1 offense. Man, Higgins is a 1 to me.
I think Higgins is a great compliment to Chase.
You don't think T. Higgins is good, Sky.
No,
I'm with you.
That's not disrespectful to T. It's just that we're talking about rarefied air as ones, right? We're talking about, would you put T. Higgins up there with CD and Chase and Jefferson?
No.
When we're talking ones, right? That's what we're talking about here. But I think he is one of the best too, and I don't think anything's wrong with that. I hear what you're saying, Foots, but I would push back on if you alter your mindset of the word wide receiver 2. Emeka Egbuka does everything really damn good, and I know we can kind of poo-poo the blocking aspect, and I'm not saying that's why you would take him at 12, but remember what I said. I personally think this offense is going to mirror a little bit of what you see in the San Frans and the Rams and things like that, and they require those guys to do some fair share of blocking. So if you can trade back and get Egbuka, I'm all for that. If you stand pat and take Matthew Golden, you're getting an explosive athlete, Zach, that I think that will do well in a move offense, and we're going to get a lot of pre-snap motion and at-snap action where I think Golden would be successul personally.
Let's go Matthew Golden.
I have a question for you, Foots. Before you turn in the card, what are you wanting to be risk adverse, or are you wanting to take the chance? Because I think Matthew Golden's ceiling is higher than Ibuka's, but his floor is so much lower. Is this lower. If we're talking about a can't miss pick, I feel like Ibuka's the safer option. His floor is just so high that I just don't see him being bad. And I know it's a terrible thing to say with any draft prospect.
So I didn't know Foots hated comps, but I don't know that I've heard this, but I you know what I keep thinking about when I see Egbuka, and I know he went way higher than Egbuka's going to go. I think about Amari Cooper. I think about a guy,
you can sign me up.
Coop was never ever talked about as the top 5 wide receiver, but every year Coop was just balling. He just was so steady, and it was just a very good. And this guy probably going to be able to catch better than Coop. Coop had a lot of the drops for a little bit, but I just think of a steady. We're going to be 8 years in and be like, he's got 7,000 yard receiving, years, 8 averages about 7 to 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns. And honestly, I think that's going to be really good opposite of CeeDee Lamb. So I hear what you're saying, Zach. I don't know at 12 here, but man, I hear what you're saying.
So let's do this. I'm going to ask you guys both a question, and this will give me my answer. Day 1, game 1, can Emeka Egbuka win on the outside?
I think he can.
Okay.
Play a lot of slot, but I 100% would believe,
because we know where CeeDee Lamb is going to play. And if the answer is yes, and they do love Emeka Egbuka and he's tied to Junior Adams, then I'm turning in the car, guys. But we're going to cap it, okay? Because we've now went 30 minutes in the war room, and we only supposed to have 10. Let's go Emeka. Let's go Emeka.
Do you want to try to trade, or you want to just sit here and take it?
I was gonna try to trade with.
Hold on, go ahead, Zach.
I don't think 12 is crazy.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy. I could obviously live with Emeka. Y'all want to turn the card in for Emeka?
Actually, you know what? We're gonna turn the card in, but I'm also say why 12 isn't crazy, because I believe that the league. I've said this from the beginning that the NFL is higher on Emeka than draft Twitter. I just think that they are. And
reports came out him, and it was it Barron or somebody else, where it's like they're hearing nothing negative from any team about Emeka Egbuka. It's just, I think draft, fans and analysts is he's not Ted. He's not, who was it last year? That group, that whole group of Marvin Harrison and Roman Johnson and things like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think he comes in day 1 and he's impactful, and he's going to be impactful for a long time.
What if he's Ladd McConkey? Like Ladd McConkey, really, quite truthfully, with a great quarterback, Dak's a great quarterback, outplayed Marvin Harrison Jr., right? And so you really just need Emeka to be where he's supposed to be, insert in the run game, win on slant, win downfield. If Emeka can do that, And I think that he's the pick.
And I think he also can play well in the move. When I say move offense, I mean these receivers are going to be moving pre-snap a lot. And I know Golden, I think with his twitchiness and speed, I think it'll be fun. But Igbuka, it has that IQ, and he's not slow either, right? For athlete, I think he's more athletic than he gets credit for. I would try to trade down, honestly.
Let's look at a trade down.
Yeah.
Let's propose a trade. Let's propose a trade.
Yeah.
Let's go quickly. Trade with. So we're gonna give them 12. They're gonna give us back 18, and let's try to get their 3rd round pick. And let's see what they do. Confirm. Trade rejected. Let's see if we can throw something else in there. Hold on. We're not gonna give up that easy. Let's go again. Let's go. Boom. With Seattle. We're gonna give them 12 and our 5th. Okay. Because I'm cool with that. Because we have a lot of 5ths anyway. Let's get this.
So they're selecting at the end of
the 3rd. Do we want to try to get their 4th back? No, let's not. Let's do this. Propose.
I'm surprised that didn't work.
Yeah, they rejected both.
Zach, this is exactly what you were talking about. What do they want to come up for?
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These tags are touching.
If Seattle were to come up, it's for Tet.
Yeah.
I think it's for Tet.
Yeah.
But he's not there.
We're drafting Igbuka, guys.
I can live with it.
Yeah.
We're drafting.
I don't even want to say live with it.
How do I go back to the I done messed it up.
You good?
How do I go back to the I don't need this.
Go
This is what I need.
close.
All right. How do I actually pick this? I only use okay, so
You got to resume the draft, brother.
oh, that's why I paused it. There we go. Okay. Oh, we did have trades. My bad.
Oh, bro.
Hey, here we go.
Hold on. Go back. What was the other one? Oh, no, I'm not trying to go to the 2nd round.
No. We're not doing it. And Sky was saying that. My bad. Here we go.
There it
Oh
is.
my!
Oh, and next
They've been trying to call this whole time, bro.
Hey, but listen.
See, Stephen Jones, get the hell out the goddamn
look
draft room,
what
Stephen
we got to give up, though. Do y'all want to give up
Gary's on his
76?
phone.
I don't want to give up 76, guys. No.
Hold on, because they're giving us 2026 second. I would counter.
Let's counter. Yeah, I don't want to give up 76. Okay. No, I'm not giving up this. Take that off. No, absolutely not. Let's give them a 5th next year.
I don't think that's going to do it. I don't need their 2nd for next year. I want 50.
we don't need
Go to
their
52.
Okay,
I'd give up 12, 76, and one of those, like you said, one of those 149, 174 to move up.
I'm gonna give up both because we want to get back. We want to get in the sweet spot of draft.
They're not going to give us next year's 2nd, brother. But go ahead.
No. Look, let's see if this works, guy. Take that off.
Oh shit!
No, I feel like we're getting.
Now we're giving. I mean,
but we are guys. Okay, let's take off. But we got like a cluster.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
All right, so the value is crazy. Hey,
okay, yeah,
it worked, and they took Shador, which is real because we don't know if Sam Darnold is real. There goes Tyler Warren, Kelvin Banks. Yep, get him out the way.
For the Titans.
I agree. Nice trade, guys. There goes Golden.
There we go. See?
Now we're rolling.
Okay.
Reject. We're standing in. We're picking our guy. We're good. Everybody good?
Yes.
Everybody good?
Yes. I'm
we go.
I'm here.
We're drafting Emeka Egbuka. We feel good about the player. We got our weapon on offense.
Pause quick.
Yes.
Go to my picks. Let's kind of readjust here.
Okay.
Like if you go to pause the draft, just pause the draft.
Oh shoot. Okay, there we go.
And go to my picks up there.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, so we got 44 and 50. So we moved up how many spots? 26?
26, yeah.
Dude, you should be able to get 2 starters here.
You have to. Like, you have to. You know, and to be able to get that, that's crazy because they can have 76. I mean, we're good. You know what I mean? You're gonna get 3 guys in the top 100, bona fide top 100, consensus top 100. Nobody can complain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
No more.
Oh, you know what? Oh, Chad is right. I gave up. I didn't take off 76. Oh my God.
Oh shit, you did get. That's why
I
they
gave
took
up.
that, bro.
That's why they accepted. Do y'all want to start this?
Foots, come on, dog. We literally had a discussion about not giving up 76. I was wondering why it looked light. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought we had 4 picks.
Yo, I did not realize that that it was still clicked. All right, this is what we're gonna do.
I was wondering where the hell 76 was.
Y'all about to get this content regardless. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start this over. Y'all just got all this good content, and we're gonna run it back. Okay, this is what we're gonna do, and we'll go speed. Okay, it happens.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. You know what? Y'all should have caught that was. All right, here we go.
Well, you unclicked it and then you clicked it back.
Hey, so Sky, this is the best content. Oh, Shador. Actually, this is kind of crazy how this is going. Okay, Ashton Jindy go Tet right before. Wow.
Almost similar. Almost similar.
We're good, chat. Come on. All right.
I ain't going back. I don't want to go back that far. Shit.
So they're giving. See, this is what I'm saying. So we're good, right?
Yes,
and are we good?
This is what we wanted. We wanted to get 18 and 50 without giving up nothing else.
Okay, chat. Do y'all forgive me now? Take the tomatoes that y'all threw at me. Are we good? Does everybody see this? All right, we're good, Sky. Sky, we're good.
Yeah,
Zach, we're good. I'm
good.
picking accept. Bong. Okay. Now we're at 18. We still get our guy. Reject.
Yeah, hold on. I just want to see what else is on the board real quick. Golden is still there. See, last time he wasn't.
Ooh. But we already said
you can just hide the trades. We're not trading no more. Hide the trades.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Jalen Walker? Nah. It's some names, guy. Ooh. It's some names.
Golden wasn't available last time, but we definitely just talked up a Mecca. So I think we should stick to our guns here.
Let's go with a Mecca. Because I think there may be a world where people in that room having Mecca over Golden. Because of everything that you said, move player, knows the offense.
I mean,
was coached by Brian Hartline
too. I watched Golden block when I was watching film.
He doesn't.
He doesn't block. He doesn't have the upper body strength. I mean, he just gets pushed around. So
no, okay, drafted him. Here we go. We're good, chat.
By the way,
how do you want me to pause?
I was going to make a video the other day about some trade down candidates, and Derek Harmon was one of my surprise guys.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I really like him, man. And you know, everybody keeps talking about, when we talk about trenches, everybody keeps talking about offensive line. Dog, we need to be talking about defensive line.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So to me, I'm with you, Harmon, man. That's not a bad one.
No more trades. We just wanted to
We're done.
Yeah, we just wanted to do the first round.
But then Sky, we targeted Seattle. Like we
Can you
knew.
get rid of that? Yeah, get rid of that.
Yeah, we kind of knew. All right, here we go. Let's look who went off the board, guys. Jaden Higgins. Love Jaden Higgins.
Oh, we got our receiver.
Yeah, we got our receiver, so we're good. TJ Sanders, Marcus Bowe, Xavier Watts. So for me, I'll just say this. This is who, as I look at our board.
Jesus, the bird is still there. How the hell that?
That's realistic, Scott, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be worried if Burden's still there because there's something going on off the field.
Every year,
I mean,
there's a
they
guy
reported-
that's super slider.
1 second. We got 44, 50, and 76, correct?
Yes. You want me to go look at our picks, my picks?
I just want to make sure because we can get we can definitely get Kenneth Grant still there. I know y'all hate Michigan, but I like Tyleek Williams. We can definitely come away with either combination of running back, defensive tackle, or defensive tackle, running wide receiver, cornerback, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can come away. We can come away with some dudes here.
So how do we look at corner? Because I want to fight you, Sky. If Carson Schwarzenegger is here, I'm married to him, bro. At this point,
I know that's your dude right now, yeah.
Because think about it. All right, let me make my point, and everybody chat. Let me know, Sky. You know I hate to be this guy because I'm usually normally very positive, right? But in real life, when do we expect DeMarvin Overshown to be back?
I mean, he'll play probably this year, but he's one of those guys I can't let him factor into my draft. You know what I mean?
You don't think so?
What?
As far as like you can draft a backer, right?
Yeah. I said,
Okay,
I don't.
yeah.
I'm not taking a linebacker because of Marvion Overshown. The dude has 2 back-to-back knee injuries, and he's already kind of built strange to where he's susceptible to more injuries. However,
so we're on the same page.
Yeah. So I mean, and look, Carson's a dude, man. He's a dude. He's one of those. I always bring up Sean Lee because it's who we have, but I'm talking, a guy who's seasoned and goes high IQ, get downhill. I think he'd be one of those guys that'll be a double-digit tackle for loss linebacker for years to come. I get you, but man, I'm looking at this board with Amarion Hampton staring at me and Williams staring at me and Grant.
And so we
I
pray.
think that's the
We pray.
conversation you got to have.
Yeah.
Like who's gonna make it 6 picks? I don't think Hampton makes it to 50.
I don't either. And
if he makes it to 44, what corners are on the board?
Let's look at it.
And remember, Dallas doesn't do well with me personally. I love the duo approach at the running back position. Dallas hits the duo every so often, but they like to have guys that they can hand that ball off to, 17 to 20 times, touch the rock 18, 22 times. And I think Hampton's that guy.
I don't like the cornerback room.
No. I wouldn't be looking here.
Not yet.
I'm actually with Vach on this, where you can look at corner later, and I think they're looking at the same way because they brought in who was it today? Gilly. So
yeah. Let's go Hampton. Let's get our running back and we're set.
How you feeling there, Zach? On Hampton?
I'm good on Hampton.
Yeah, I would not turn it.
I wouldn't mess around.
No, I wouldn't.
I think also too, guys. I've said this, and Zach, we kind of talked about it, man. You can't wait on running back guys.
Go ahead.
You can't.
Yeah, go ahead and drop.
Yeah, because I just think that if you try to wait and you get wiped, you're screwed. Okay, let's look at
it's a deep. Don't get me wrong. It's a deep draft, but I mean it's not a deep draft of workhorses in my opinion. I think once you get to a certain point, probably in that 3rd round, now you're talking about guys, you got to pair with guys strategically. I don't think you have to do that with Amarion Hampton. I think he's versatile enough. But you can, if you want to go double dip in round, 6 and get you a specialty dude, fine. That's great. Now they can be, 1-2 for when I say 1-2, I mean like 1 and in a distance 2 for the next 4 years. But Hampton fits the mold of what the Cowboys are looking for. A workman-like workhorse type. They want to hand the ball off 18 times or what have you, and you're only going to get, in my opinion, a handful of those type guys, and he's one of them.
Yeah, and the body is there. Do we want to eat our vegetables here, or are we going with the linebacker?
Me, I'm going with Williams, but let's talk.
I knew you was going to say that. Yeah. I knew you was going to say that. So I'm of the belief that that's probably the smart pick. I just love Carson Schlesinger.
Zach,
but Tyleek is so good, bro.
I think Tyleek will be fantastic fit next.
He is good.
Yeah, the interior of that defensive line needs so much help. Yeah. Williams would be perfect.
I mean, Grant Williams.
I want to fight y'all. See, that backer, bro. But y'all are right, because we got to play against good run games and push in the pocket, and we don't know who Mozzie
has the offensive lineman up on him because the defensive tackles got smoked off the ball,
bro.
And they want tackles.
We have to stop effing. Like we need to. If you can get you a one or a nose, whatever you want to call Williams, or next to Osa, you have to get him a running mate. Osa's not. I'm going to say this and sound. Osa's not big enough. Number one. To just manhandle guys by himself all game. He's also, I don't think, good enough. That's not a knock on Osa, but he cannot be the guy by himself up there. You got to get him a running mate. And I think walking away.
Let's go Schlesinger.
Well, he
went 2 picks before us.
Yeah, shit. Is that the 3rd round?
Bro, it happened last year with Turner, with Peyton Wilson.
Hey, man, can we sneak him down? And I say day 3, not the 3rd round. Yeah.
It happened with Peyton Wilson, but I would be good with this haul getting to the 3rd round. And okay, let's do this, man. If you get to the 3rd round and you have Emeka Egbuka, Amarion Hampton, and Tyleek Williams, we can take the rest of the draft off. I'm telling you.
I'm out. See ya.
I'll talk to you later, Sky. We'll be doing a show recapping. Telling you.
I mean,
but we got to draft. No,
I'm just kidding. But see, here's where things get like, because if we'd have took your boy Schlesinger, Alfred Collins was there.
I know. Yeah. See, no, don't do that to me, Scott. No, don't do that to me. No. But I'll say this. I think Tyleek's a better player. He was coached by the honorable, the great Larry Johnson up at Ohio State. I look at all that. Like pro level coaching, those Ohio State guys pan out on both sides of the ball. And what you're asking Tyleek to do is walk the center back. You're asking him to be Andrew Billings.
Better.
Well, I mean, but what he was able to do for Eberflus in his scheme.
Yeah, but I'd argue Flus hasn't had that type of talent in Chicago at that position. Like he had really had Anosa to keep it a bean. But yes. Yeah. So here we are, kind of our, if you want to call it the last premium for the Cowboys, Zach. We walked away with, I think, 3 impact guys in the first 3 rounds, starters immediately, and this fourth one. Do you now go to BPA per need, or you still stick to your board of just, hey, we're gonna take the best guy that's there. If it's double dip, it's a double dip. I've always thought that in my head. I had a conversation like, is it too early to be double dipping, or you go to the need aspect?
I think you still go BPA, but I saw a corner on there, Jacob Parrish.
Let me go back.
You just lost Jordan Lewis.
Yeah,
a little slot corner, very, very competitive. Get up in your face, match anybody. I really like Caleb Parrish from Kansas State a lot. He reminds me a lot of Jordan Lewis coming out of Michigan. Just the frame, the tenacity.
What's his frame?
He'll help in the run game.
Because I think Flus has a type.
So Parrish is a smaller guy. I'm gonna tell you that.
Do you know how many times? You know how many times during free agency I'm putting together some like free agent lists, mocks, or whatever, and I'm like, damn, I really can't include this guy because I feel like Flus is not going to be interested. You know, I know Kyle Fuller. I think he had Kyle Fuller, right? Did he have Kyle Fuller over there?
He did.
Or was he pre Flus?
Well, I don't know that. I don't know.
Can't remember, but he has a type, man. And I know Slot's a little different. Now, here's the thing, though. Tell me about his play. Can he be? And this goes back to the conversation we had, Foots, when we talked about match quarters. Can he be a run fit guy, Zach?
Yeah, I think
he'll hit you.
Now, I
he
do
does
think
hit
size
you.
is going to limit him a little bit.
Can he fit? Can he run fit? Because
sure, he'll stick his head in there, but he's probably going to get cracked. He can slow him down.
It's rough, Sky.
Because that's what Flus is looking for, a dude that can be kind of a quasi run guy in that slot.
See, you know who the guy that you want, Sky, is. You want the Upton Stouts. Even though he's a little bit smaller, I think he actually will tackle a little bit better than Parrish. Parrish will hit you. Is like you said. It's just, he's 5'0", so what Zach said about the size is.
So let me ask you this: is this the point of the draft where now Shoddy or the scouts, really, Will is saying, okay, we've targeted three guys probably in our top 40 of the draft, right? Maybe top 50 or what have you. Is this a draft? Is this the point of draft where you say, okay, I know we don't want to reach, but let's kind of get a guy that fits us, even if he's not, 76 on our board and he's 85. He's not, you know what I'm saying? Is this where you say, okay, maybe we're going to get a guy that fits here and we develop as opposed to another starter, unless you can find another starter here?
I think so. Noah Williams makes sense. I like his teammate actually a little bit better in at Cal. So it's just like, to me, Marcus Harris is really good. I think, some of these names, Corey Black, Oklahoma State, Dane Brugler gave him us. I like Jordan Hancock. I think that go ahead. If you're looking for the size, then you need to go with a guy like Noah Williams. Why are we sitting that
corner though?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So
everywhere.
I had actually a few names and positions, but I did like this Zach went corner, Sky, because it's a need.
Did he go? That's just your pick is Parrish?
No. I was just going towards corner because we hit wide receiver, running back.
Right.
I don't think they do it, but Alfred Collins is a really intriguing name. I know you just took a defense.
Oh, you said double down.
That was my conversation, guys. I'm sitting here looking at Alfred Collins, and you know what goes through my mind here? You know what goes through my mind? We took Micah Parsons. We got to the second round. JOK, I think, was still on the board. Nick Bolton was still on the board. You say stupid. You don't take two linebackers back to back. Could you imagine Micah and JOK on the same team? Are you kidding me?
That would be crazy.
Are you kidding me? So it's like, and with the defensive line, fellas, who who else it ain't like we got a bunch of gangbusters at defensive tackle. So that's why I was like, is this a position or a point in the draft where it's like, man, if the best player is a double dip, take them chips and get some dip.
And you're not married to Mozzie in the long term.
No, I mean, this is a new staff here.
Yeah,
I'm not making a case for him, but Omar Norman Lott, a little undersized 3 tech, like, dude.
I love
That's
Omar.
more depth too. That's more depth too. Yeah,
more towards like the Osa mold, but really good player too.
Okay,
but
fellas.
I would like Collins here, and I would be completely fine with that pick.
I would too. But
we're drafting him.
Wait, because this is I happen to look over. Is this where you try to find an offensive lineman?
So I'm glad that you said that. That was the position group I was gonna attack, but the problem is this class sucks, bro.
Okay,
then I don't like any of these guys.
I'm not
like
jumping.
Willie Lampkin, but you like Lampkin because of the story, not because he's like a 5th round pick on my board. Like, unfortunately, you see what I'm saying? Like, if we're following the board, then Alfred Collins should be the pick.
I agree. I don't know if they'll do it, but I don't know how you don't. If I'm
the other name that I was gonna do, and Zach will know this one, is Demetrius Knight. I liked him at the Senior Bowl. He's a big body linebacker. He doesn't quite have the instincts of a Schlesinger, but he's really good. He'd be the one, physical. Noel Williams from Cal would be another one as well. But, bro, you can never have enough defensive linemen.
No, I happen to look over and somebody said the D-line is deep. Sir, where? We're talking.
I haven't even looked at the chat. Yeah,
defensive line.
We got 300 people watching.
Shouts out to y'all. They're not deep, brother. And I get it, right? You're taking Collins, and he's probably going to be a guy you rotate. But guess what? Defensive linemen, they rotate. That's just the way the nature of the beast. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you want to go
being coached by Aaron Whitecotton, let's do it. No, we're drafting him. Let's draft him. This is original.
It's a position that we've complained about for so long.
And
it would be amazing.
Come on, man.
To just
walk away with that.
Fix it.
Let's look at this haul.
You could talk about that. Yeah, you could argue it's fixed for the next 4 years.
Yeah, you feel a whole lot better.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, Scott, like I said, I mean, O-line depth, I mean, I only watched maybe like 15 offensive linemen. And I mean, I'm telling myself, but I don't like this class. And people will tell you they don't like this class, which is more of the reason why I don't want to draft the offensive lineman in a class where this like I would even now what position I want to draft here is running back. You talk about double dipping.
This is so crazy because I'm glad we're having this conversation out loud. Because
you thinking the same thing?
You know how many times I will go through this just to kind of just to see something, right? And I'm like, bro, am I crazy or is this a thought process that's ridiculous to think of double dipping twice? I mean, I don't know how I walk away looking at the best player and I'm like, well, shit, I already took him back.
With this haul,
but the best player is one of them.
With this haul, I mean, hey, what do we say? We draft him, but now we're kind of just like, you know what? Who's there? Who's hanging around? It's okay. We're chilling because at the end of the day,
we're at 176. They're not double dipping no more. This is where you take the trait guy of a new position.
Yeah, and that's what we'll do. I know a few names. Oh, there goes Jalen Lane. There goes our boy Zach. Seeing Jalen Lane, we love him live.
Damn, Buffalo and the Eagles got hella picks in the one. I didn't even peep that.
Yeah, and I think they'll be trying to move. Okay, here we go. Let's look at the best player available because oh my God, this would be the pick and it wouldn't be close for me.
Dude, that is the name I was thinking the whole way.
Are you serious?
Fifth round back. Yes, Brashard Smith is 100. Dude,
I think this is hilarious.
It would be a DeMarco Murray and Joseph Randall without Steele and Cologne.
And draws. Don't forget that.
It really would, bro.
You needed some Fruit of the Looms.
So we'll look around, but you know how I feel about Brashard Smith. Oh my God,
Chat,
bro.
Is it we doing too much double dipping twice? We've got too much dip on our chip.
Man, chat can talk to me later, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm just messing with him here.
Who would they take over? Who would they take over Brashard Smith, Sky? We sat in the stands and watched him.
I'm letting y'all argue about it. I'm Will McClay, and I'm the scout.
Well, let's look at the rest. Let's look at the rest of the board. Let's look at the rest of the board.
We also heard whispers that they like Brashard Smith.
Yes, so. He was a Dallas Day guy, I think he was also a 30 visit. They met with him at the combine. I said they could draft him in the 3rd round, but in this class, because it is so many running backs, and it's about what flavor ice cream, what flavor of
personally,
sauce.
I never even wanted to sign no damn below. I didn't want to sign no damn Sanders and Javonte Williams of the world in free agency. From the rip, Foots, we talked about it. I'm like, draft 2 running backs. Like this is the draft to draft 2 running backs, and Sanders is not stopping me from that. Williams is not stopping me from that. And now you get one in the 2nd, and I get one at 176. Ooh. I mean that makes or 174. That makes that's intriguing too. That makes sense.
Okay, we gotta have a conversation because we got to be fair. We got to be realistic, and then we'll get our rest. We got to, because we got a long.
Hey, where's my boy at? Where's Matt at? Because Aeneas Peebles is right there too.
And he likes.
We already took our tackles, but go ahead.
We got hey Sky. We stopping that run, baby. We stopping the run, dog.
We definitely stopping that run. Damn, I know. I like the speed.
I know. Zach, can we at least have an Isaiah Bond conversation? Or
yeah. The thing is, I don't not like Isaiah Bond. It's just when people are talking about him initially, they're talking about him at 44. Like that felt insane. But seeing him at 174 would feel a lot better. The only problem I have with Isaiah Bond is you'll watch him play. He looks phenomenal. And then he'll do something where you're like, what is happening? He had a catch across the middle or a drop pass in the playoffs where he jumped up in the air, but the ball was at his knees. And
so he Cavante Turpin that thing.
For every play he makes, he'll make 1 or 2 blunders, and you're like, what are we doing? But I do like Isaiah Bond, the ability to stretch the field, all of that.
So let me make my case on the running back here. You just extended Cavante Turpin, and you paid him to where I think there needs to be some packages in his game. Now, he's not the receiver of Bond, but I think he's the weapon. And I think if we're going to be in this kind of pre-snap, post-snap, creative move type thing, that fits Turpin very well. And maybe he kind of he is the speed guy. He is the kind of move guy. Again, not the polished receiver or as polished as, say, an Isaiah Bond, but maybe that's your 3, not your 3. That's your X factory speedy type of dude as opposed to taking a receiver. Whereas at running back, you don't necessarily have that second back unless you think that Deuce Vaughn could be be that guy with Connor Riley here. But Brashard Smith would be my I would take him is what I'm getting at here because you don't have that second guy.
Yeah, you don't have a Brashard Smith,
right?
For sure, and he's only going to get better because he's a wide receiver turn running back, so he's only going to continue.
Why are we double dipping that defensive tackle? Because we suck at defensive tackle. I mean, what do you mean? Defensive tackles, Playboy, and it was the best. He's the best left there. But anyway,
no, Scott, the defensive tackle thing. Because at the end of the day, we talk about the trenches on the offense side of the ball.
That's what I was saying. Defense side of the ball.
Why don't we talk about the defense side of the ball? Like you talk about freeing up Micah and packages, and now Sam Williams if he gives you anything.
Can y'all go take a look at some of y'all corners? Because I know. I feel like
I
we got too much dip on our
there.
chip. So I'm trying to. I
kind of peeked over there. Upton Stout.
You was talking about.
I was, but at this point, it's just guys that like. I mean, you might as well just give Kalen Carson a shot or like put him inside or you get what I'm saying?
Let's play the game then. Let's play the game.
Melo Dawson will be interesting.
Does Stout or any corner here come in and make a bigger impact than Brashard Smith type in the first year or 2 of their careers?
Not a chance.
Okay.
No. Because you got to think about it too. And I know Matt said Elijah Roberts, and that would be a great pick as well.
About guard here.
But we got we got 20 guards. That's no. And when I lost my mind just hearing about Booker, absolutely not. The thing about Brashard Smith is not, and Scott will tell you, it really isn't just Zach, it isn't just him running the ball. He's right now the best pass catching back on this team. It's not close.
That's what I'm saying. Like he remember we talked about earlier. Hampton is well rounded, but if you're going to get a guy, to back up Hampton, then it has to be that specialty guy, and that's where Brashard Smith comes.
That would be. Let me tell you something. That would quite possibly get both of the running backs we signed cut in training camp.
I don't care. I don't even
No,
factor.
no, like in a great way, though, Sky.
Yeah,
because think about it, Hampton is gonna do Javonte Williams things better than Javonte Williams, and Miles Sanders is washed. Yeah, and Miles Sanders, I didn't make no content on Miles Sanders. He's washed. I mean, if he goes out there and does anything, cool. But I'm not holding that.
Okay, we got to turn the card in here shortly. Are we comfortable skipping over needs here at 176 or 174 to get a guy that we believe will have an impact year one as a backup running back? Where hey, look, two backs can be involved. Are we comfortable with passing up a need? Because at this point, whether it's a guard, whether it's a corner, safety, linebacker, let's be real. Are they getting on the field unless it's an injury?
Are they gonna play? I would say no. So I'm comfortable, especially if you bring Gilly home, or
chat,
you know.
And I know you. I'd like to talk to the chat. I like to talk to the squad.
You good.
Are we? Is it too much dip on our chip, or Brashard Smith is a guy that can come in here and get some touches?
Sky, also people been trying to donate to you. Somebody's asked for your Cash App. They want to do.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. The super chat ain't working right now. There we go. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead. My hat's in for Brashard Smith.
Yeah, I would go Smith here. Zach.
Yeah, you're talking about having a duo, and somebody that could contribute at 174. Brashard Smith's gonna be
and
your
guess
best
what?
option. And he really, the change of pace, and he's just gonna get better. He's only 2 years as a running back? 1 year? 2 years? Dude, he smoked everybody at the Senior Bowl in one-on-ones. Those linebackers had no chance.
2 years.
And guys, we're adding more speed to the offense.
Yes.
You know, if Buka runs 4.4, he's a lot more athletic and you know, smoother than probably gets credit for. Smith adds more speed. We're adding more speed, something that we did not have.
Yeah. Let's go Brashard Smith, guys. We'll put a bow on this thing.
I wonder how many people would be pissed at the double dips here. I'm fine with them.
I mean, well, think about it. It's like one helps the other. So your D tackles help your corners. They help your linebackers. They help and then again, the weaponry. Think about how well Dak throws that swing, or think about the eyes that'll be on Emeka and CD, and now you could just sneak Brashard Smith out in the Texas route. I think he's going to have that Bucky Irvin type effect.
Ooh, and Bucky should never lasted that. What, fourth round? He probably should
fourth or fifth, one of them.
He should have probably won in the third, and you saw what he did. So, you know, and let's be real, you're not going to come away from this draft fulfilling all your needs, and something's going to get left out. And what we left out would be, quote unquote, the offensive line, right? And if you go look at how they've been moving this offseason, I feel like they're trying to just throw as many things at the wall so that they don't have to take it unless the best player available there for them is an offensive lineman early. Because I agree with you. I don't know that they're going to try to attack it after the second round at the latest. I feel like they're just going to bypass it.
Yeah, and I like the way we were able to trade, get more pieces, and like every year a name like on a Marion Hampton or the said big name player falls and you can just take them. And now with one of your needs hit and you get that BPA type vibe, I'm with it.
Mind you, how many? So there's like 4 more picks behind this. We only did the 5th round. So, you know, there's still the 6th round picks, the 7th round picks, and they'll probably take guards and centers. And you know what I'm saying? They'll likely take that. I just
eat their vegetables.
Right. But if I walk away with this, how can you be mad?
Yeah, no.
You've beefed up your interior defensive line to help against the run and obviously complement your now new $80 million guy. You've beefed up your running back room for the next 4 years is straight, bruh. You've helped out Dak Prescott by improving the running game. Oh, and you've helped out CeeDee Lamb by getting a Emeka Egbuka. And now, hey man, we got something to cook here on offense. And now it's going to be up to the coaches, I think, to help out the offensive line with the scheme and Connor Riley and Clayton Adams with the teachings or what have you in the blocking, Zach.
I like that you pointed out getting better for the next 4 years at running back. Same thing with wide receiver. CD's on his deal, defensive tackle. Like a lot of positions you've been needing for a while. It feels like they're locked in for the next 4 or 5 years. And I mean, that would be. I would be so happy. I can't decide if I'm happier with the Emeka and Hampton or the Williams and Collins.
Right.
Which one do I like more?
That's it's. I don't think they'll walk away with 5 guys like this in the draft though. like that. Like this is unheard of in my opinion because all 5 of these guys are day one. They're going to play and have an impact barring injury.
I don't think they'll walk away with 5 guys like this, but in a trade back situation, you could be looking at these type of like instant plug and play.
Yeah, if you're going to give us 18 and 50 and you're only going to want 149, yeah, we'll take that shit all day.
You're going to take it all day and night, bro.
Yeah.
I would feel really good about this.
Yeah. All right, chat. Let us know here. We'll if you want to throw some tomatoes at us, don't just throw the tomatoes at us, right? Tell me why you threw the tomatoes at us, and then we can have a discussion. Y'all want to do number, letter grade? Just want to see what the vibe is with the chat here.
Here we go.
That's okay. We'll do a letter. We'll keep it simple here.
Getting graded live is crazy. It's crazy.
Grade this 5 round. By the way, it's 5. Okay, we didn't trade all of our 6 and 7 round picks. They still got about 4 of them things where they can go get other things. We'll grade this 5 round mock draft where we traded back 6 picks, picked up 50, and was able to walk away with 4 top 100 players on our board. And in my opinion, 5 impact guys. I think 5.
1 point only.
I think 1 point only. 1 point only. We ain't doing this again. Now we had to start it over because Foots tried to get us fleeced. Goddamn it, Foots.
We get some good grades. Hey,
I don't know how we missed that.
Hey, chat.
What is your grade, chat? How would you feel coming away from this draft? I don't know if you can see it, but we'll read it out. 18, we selected Emeka Egbuka. We traded back, and Marion Hampton was still there at 44.
Matt O gave us a B+. That's my guy.
Tyleek Williams, and then we double dipped. We double dipped twice, but we double dipped back to back. Alfred Collins. How they gonna talk about wanting to be more physical up front, Foots and Zach, and be scared to double dip with these 2 guys? Come on now.
Yeah, you talk about physical. It's gonna be hard to run the ball on this team. The C gaps. I mean, the C to C gonna be closed. I'm just telling you now.
And then
anybody that got to watch him play the Rams back in 2019 and got to watch him play Green Bay in 2023 in the playoffs, you better like this because hopefully you're not getting ran over like you did in those games.
I don't think that would happen.
With great coaching.
And those guys are going to make your linebackers better, right?
Yeah.
Jack Sanborn is going to. I mean, I like Jack Sanborn, but I think Jack Sanborn behind this defensive interior. Hell yeah,
might be Luke Kuechly.
Let's boogie. Okay, all right. I'm a little nervous to look over here because y'all be great and tough.
I've been looking. They looking good, Scott.
Okay, we got A's, B+, B+ here, Sin City. The Guru says only bling is a double dip at DT. Hey, if that's considered bling, you mean bling as in like good or Big Country A. Professor O gave us a B+. Johnson, somebody's name is John to see that in here. A. Gilmore, come on down. Yeah, I would definitely. And that's the thing, right? After the draft, now you go get these veterans. I go sign me a Stephon Gilmore. D Webb gave us a B-. Byron A+. Jacob gave us an A. Brandon B+. I thought that we would get a little pushback here with the double dipping, but lots of B's, lots of A's. Ruben said just because you didn't get golden, so Ruben probably he won't B- because we didn't get golden.
And that's some of your bad grades will be. We didn't get their cousin. We didn't get who they wanted. Yeah,
and that's the thing, right? Flavor of ice cream, Golden, Ibuka, Ted, Luther Burden. But man, I think he's so safe here. He just screams to me again. It may be Sky. You don't know what the hell you're talking about here, but he just screams Amari Cooper to me.
Yeah, no, bro. If you and it could be one of those things where all the receivers that Ohio State had, man, Emeka could get to the league and actually be better than what people thought. Like that always happens. Like, what if he's Puka Nacua?
You know, it's funny you brought that up because, like I said, I think this offense is going to mirror a little bit of what you see from the Rams.
Movement, pre-snap.
Somebody asked about calling in. He heard something today. Nope, the phones aren't open today. For me personally, my phones be open Friday morning. I'll be going live after the first round. Speaking of which, kind of just quick plug here before we get out of here. If you guys want more of this, but it's going to be more in live, and these gentlemen are going to be giving their analysis on every single pick. Make sure you join us Thursday for round 1. It starts at 7 or 8 Eastern. Okay, 8 Eastern. We'll be on probably around 7:45.
This is year 4 for us, Sky. Wow.
Year 4, bro. 4 years in a row we've been doing this is a draft show. And this time we got our guy Zach. I'm excited to have him, man. This is my first time going live with you, working with you. We've been working behind the scenes together, but like on live, I'm geeked. I'm geeked for the show because you finna be our Mel Kiper. And I know y'all both white. That's not why. It ain't that's what I'm saying. But no, or Todd McShay. More Todd McShay because you're younger, you know, and Mel Kiper kind of old. You're more gonna be our Todd McShay. And Foots is gonna be our what's my man's name? He just interviewed for a general manager job.
Oh, I'll be he's good too.
Yeah. It's slipping my mind.
Louis Riddick.
Yes, Lou Riddick. Yes.
Riddick,
Foots gonna be our Lou Riddick. And I'm just gonna be Sky, man. I
hell of a compliment.
Gonna be Sky.
Be complimented to Lou Riddick.
But I'm excited for it, fellas. We put a lot of work in, all of us, to give you guys a great night of the draft. I say this all the time. You can go support everybody, but just know you're going to get everything here. You're going to get it all on day one of the draft here. So make sure you guys come through. But chat, glad you guys loved. Looks like you did. You liked this draft, I should say. Final words here, Zach.
No, just working with you. You guys know if you watch my channel, I don't go live a whole lot, so I'm completely in their world. They're holding it down. Sky with the production, Foots with the draft, being my mock draft buddy. So yeah, dude, this is awesome. I appreciate you guys for letting me come on here, especially something 4 years running, being on here. It's an honor.
Man, you held it down for your first live, chat. I appreciate y'all because see, y'all can get on me and Foots. We used to this thing. I appreciate y'all not welcoming Zach with open arms and not going too crazy and scaring my guy away. So appreciate y'all doing that. But just know, Zach, if you say something crazy, they gonna come for you, man. So don't worry about them.
Hey, I'm so new to this. I don't even have chat pulled up. I have no idea.
I have no clue where it's at. You're smart, sir. I tell people all the time. Like my man Pat come on here, or when Jesse would come on live. I'm like, yo, don't look at the chat because y'all don't know how to act when y'all see something in that chat. Y'all go crazy. They don't want to listen. Y'all. They don't want to listen.
Yeah, man. My closing remarks. Yes, Zach. Don't look at the chat because you'll be thrown off on your points. Me and Sky have been doing this so long. We kind of know how to just keep it moving and ignore certain things. Because the truth is,
or entertain the mess. Sometimes I entertain it.
Yeah. We want to have fun, but the truth is this: people I didn't been called so much stuff. It actually does help you develop thick skin. And the truth is, if people are tuned in, that's the win. Say what you want. It's all good. You tuned in, and I know they'll be tuned in during the live stream. And like you said, thank you for welcoming our brother Zach into the family, into the fold, because he has a perspective. He's really good. And I'll say this: I got to give people flowers when they can smell them. Shout out to Sky Steele, man. He's the best in the business for a reason. And I appreciate it.
And I want to give a shout out to our guy Vach. He's not with us. He's with us. That sounded bad. He's not doing the show with us this year because he's holding it down on the .com side of things. But we will get a special guest appearance from time to time from Vach because they're going to be doing some back and forth with that massive crew they got over there. About 15 people they're going to be having in and out for the show.
I don't know how they're going to get a word in with all them folks.
I don't know.
I'm right over here with my boy Sky. We could talk, chill, step away. I'm telling you. He actually, Vach hit us. He's going to be jumping on.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to get a special guest appearance by Vach throughout the show. So it's going to be a fantastic, and depending how I go, I might just open it up for a couple other special guests just to come through and kick it with us and review. The good thing this year, brother, compared to the last three, we pick early. We don't got to wait around for 3 hours. We're going to get it early. We'll be able to discuss the following picks and then a little bit of day two. And I think it's going to be amazing, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
So make sure y'all go and support our guy Zach over at Double Move. Dude is killing it. He's rising up. And as y'all already know, go support Foots the King. I mean, the content that you've been putting out in regards to like how much you're dropping and the quality of it. Proud of you, big dog. You have went crazy this past off season. You kind of, both of you guys really have kept me sane and up to date with just football and not drama. And we talk about this a lot behind the scenes where I don't really care for the drama. I know we have to talk about it from time to time, but I filter out my football I filter out my football intake so that I can just talk ball. And that's what you guys have done this offseason. I appreciate that.
Man, Sky, me and Sky will have, just to pull back the curtain, because we doing it, man. This has been a great live. Me and Sky will have 3-hour discussions about scheme. Like literally. Like, hey Sky, nah, I don't like that what they ran right there. And Sky, send me somebody. Like, that's how we
come
are.
to my computer and pull a play. It's like, yo, what is this? Or this is what I'm talking about. But yeah, you're right. Absolutely right about that.
So that's where we are. And I think there's a listener, there's a fan who wants that. May not be the most masses, but we do this for that fan. Yeah. I know Zach does that for that fan. I'm not into what shoes Jerry Jones wore. I don't care. So I appreciate you guys. Sure.
Well, Jerry ain't got no shoe because he ain't in the war room today. We locked him out, and look what we came away with, baby. We walk away with this, fam. I'm going crazy on Friday. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. But hey, appreciate y'all, chat. If y'all want to support Zach and Foots financially, please, Zach and Foots, drop y'all Cash App in the chat. I don't got the super chat on right now. And they've been asking for the Cash App. So, make sure y'all drop y'all stuff in there if they want to support monetarily. And follow me on Twitter. I've been on there and talking wrestling and some Cowboys stuff. Zach don't really do the Twitter. But I don't know if you're on Instagram or what have you. I know you're on Instagram, but I don't know if you want people on your Instagram. You know what I'm saying? That's too different.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got I actually have a Cowboys Instagram. DC We Dem Boys. I've had it since I was 14 years old. But I'll put it in the.
He had it since he was 14, and he's 16 now.
I'm telling you, yo, Sky's stupid.
And then Foots, y'all want to go in there and get in the mess with Foots? Go ahead. But he on Twitter, Foots the King.
Yeah, on Twitter, and I've been taking a different route. Like even today, I was just kind of like,
he lying. Don't.
I got kind of messy this weekend with somebody in the community, but I'm working on myself.
Foots be like, you know what, man? I'm a changed man. I don't want to do that. I told you so. Next thing you know, I told you.
Oh, Sky, we draft Ted McMillan. They ain't gonna like me. It's a lot of they out there.
Be you, bro.
Look me in this camera.
Be you, bro.
If we draft number 4 from Arizona, you ain't gonna like me. You're not. I'm telling you. Everything I said, all the humbleness out the window, gone. Bye. See ya. So you're not.
Be you, bro. Never change, man. Never change. Appreciate y'all, chat, for showing the love. Y'all be safe out there. Be kind to people. I know right now in the community it is extremely messy. Try not to dive into all of that. And as a person, as a people, remain positive, because I think if you could do that, that'll shine through. Even in disagreements and discourse, you can like we did today. We had disagreements on things, but we were able to kind of push through it in a positive way. But with that said, I usually will press this other button, but I'm gonna press this button because I'm ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the NFL Draft 2025. We will see y'all Thursday. Love you. Peace. Who ready? We ready.